Step into a moment frozen more than 160 years ago, a time when the Civil War reshaped a nation and countless young men faced an uncertain future. Today, their faded photographs are restored with vivid color, transforming distant figures into real people once again. This is the Civil War, reimagined through the lens of time.
Private Thomas Gaston Wood. He served as a drummer in the Walton Infantry, Company H, 11th Georgia Infantry. He died on December 13, 1861 in Virginia after contracting pneumonia. Private Logan Nicholson, Company A, 6th Georgia Cavalry, formerly known as Smith's Legion, aka 1st Georgia Partisan Rangers Cavalry, and Company I, 11th Georgia Cavalry. Nicholson enlisted on either 8 or 12 May 1862 in Hiawassee, Georgia. He was captured on 28 December 1862, but the location of his capture is not mentioned in his military records. In 1863, he was wounded in action at Leet Springs, near Chickamauga, suffering a gunshot wound to the left shoulder. The 6th Georgia Cavalry fought against Wilder's Lightning Brigade in this action, the latter armed with Spencer repeating rifles. At some point, Nicholson became part of Company I of the 11th Georgia Cavalry. This unit was mustered in on 15 August 1864 to serve in the northeastern part of Georgia. Private Isaac Miles Crow, Company H, 40th Georgia Infantry. Living in Adairsville, Bartow County, Georgia, he enlisted on 4 March 1862 and died on 16 May 1862 in Knoxville, Tennessee. Countless numbers of men died within months and sometimes within weeks of joining the military, largely due to disease. Private William Wesley Pope, Company K, 40th Georgia Infantry. He enlisted on 4 March 1862 in Buchanan, Haralson County, Georgia. He was captured along with his unit in July 1863 when Vicksburg, Mississippi, capitulated to Federal forces. Like many Confederate soldiers who have incomplete, spotty, or totally missing service records, Pope has no records after October 1863. The 40th fought at Chickasaw Bayou and Champions Hill, Mississippi, before the siege of Vicksburg. After being paroled, the 40th fought from Chattanooga through the Atlanta Campaign and Hood's Tennessee Campaign and ended the war in North Carolina in 1865. Private Andrew Jackson Florence, 2nd Company F, Powder Springs Guards, 1st Confederate Infantry. He enlisted in Powder Springs, Georgia on May 1, 1862. He survived the war and is buried in Elmwood Cemetery in Birmingham, Alabama. Private William W. Ridgway, Company G, 42nd Georgia Infantry. He enlisted on 4 March 1862 in Monroe County, Georgia. He became a POW when Vicksburg capitulated to Federal forces in July 1863. His last military records, dated February till October 1863, list him as absent without leave. Confederate Vice President Alexander Stephens and his stepbrother, Lieutenant Colonel Linton Stephens, 15th Georgia Infantry. Linton was much younger than Alexander, and Alexander became Linton's legal guardian when they were young. Private Julius Turner Sawyer, Company C, 27th Georgia Infantry. He enlisted on 10 September 1861 in Griffin, Georgia, and was killed at the Battle of Olustee, Florida, on 20 February 1864. Private Byron Bowers, Company B, 24th Georgia Infantry. He enlisted on 24 August 1861 in Hart County, Georgia, in the 24th Georgia Infantry. On 4 October 1863, he transferred to Beauregard's South Carolina Light Artillery. The 24th fought in the 7 Days Campaign, the Maryland Campaign, Fredericksburg, Chancellorsville, Gettysburg, and Chickamauga. Beauregard's Artillery Company also fought at Chickamauga, at Chattanooga, and Missionary Ridge in the Atlanta Campaign and at Nashville. Lieutenant James Henry Ware, Adjutant, 35th Georgia Infantry. Ware enlisted on 12 August 1861 and was killed at the Battle of Mechanicsville on 26 June 1862. Captain Henry A. Cannon, Company C, 1st Georgia Regular Infantry. He enlisted on 19 April 1861 and was killed at the Battle of Olustee, Florida, on 20 February 1864. Cannon was actually leading the 1st Georgia in the battle. The 1st Georgia Regulars fought in Virginia in 1862, but after being weakened by death and disease, they were sent back to Georgia. They then served in Florida in 1863, then in Savannah and Charleston, before ending the war in North Carolina. Private Samuel Reed Cragg, Company D, 1st Confederate Infantry. This unit was also known by multiple names: the 1st Battalion Georgia Volunteers, as well as the Georgia and Mississippi Regiment Volunteers, the 36th Georgia Infantry, as well as the 1st Confederate Infantry. It officially became known as the 1st Confederate Infantry. Many units and soldiers are difficult to track because regimental numerical designations and names would frequently change. Craig, who lived in Troup County, Georgia in 1860, was a machinist in civilian life, and he enlisted in Atlanta on 8 March 1861 for 12 months. He was discharged after that time was up on 14 March 1862. Private Jesse M. Lamb, Company N of Sharp's Georgia Battalion. Lamb was a gunsmith in civilian life, and he is holding a rifle he constructed. Scant information seems to exist on Sharp's battalion. 2nd Lieutenant William Newton Swift, Company G, 34th Georgia Infantry. A resident of Franklin County, Georgia, he enlisted on May 12, 1862. He was taken prisoner at the Battle of Champions Hill, Mississippi, and died on January 1, 1864, after contracting measles while a prisoner of war at Johnson's Island, Ohio. Private Alman Duckworth, Jr., and Private Benjamin F. Duckworth, Company K, 9th Georgia Infantry. Benjamin also served in Company H. They enlisted in Americus, Georgia on 6 July 1861. Alman contracted syphilis and was in and out of various hospitals before finally being given a medical discharge. Benjamin was wounded on 16 November 1863. On 22 June 1864, he was killed during the Siege of Petersburg, Virginia. Private Millington Marion Scoggin, Company D, 35th Georgia Infantry. He enlisted in Atlanta on 23 September 1861 and was killed on 9 August 1862 at the Battle of Cedar Run, Virginia. Private William Asa Manley, the Franklin Rangers, Company F, 37th Georgia Infantry. Manley enlisted in Carnesville, Georgia on 10 May 1862. Besides a few records for clothing receipts, his records skip straight to his capture on 16 December 1864 at the Battle of Nashville. He spent time as a POW at Camp Chase. Manley worked as a farmer, mercantile store owner, and was associated with the law firm of Morris, White, and Manley. He served as a clerk of Franklin County Superior Court in 1868. He died in 1915.
Sergeant Charles Wesley Hines, Company H, 29th Georgia Infantry. Hines enlisted as a corporal on 1 October 1861 in Savannah. He was listed as absent, detailed as an escort to the remains of Captain T.G. Whidden in June 1862. Hines was mortally wounded at the Battle of Chickamauga, Georgia, and died due to those wounds in a field hospital on 25 September 1863. Thank you for taking this historical journey. If these restored portraits helped the past feel closer, consider liking the video and subscribing for more colorized history.